Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 6 of the podcast, The Ghostcast with Ghost Puma. In this episode, we talk about the DC Universe. My first question: who are some of your favorite characters in DC Comics over the years?
Now. We all have to understand and respect it here that I am a Marvel fan, like do or die type shit. But like, here's the thing. I think that some of my most like favorite comics, and I would say like um my favorite heroes in the DC universe has always been like the Flash. Like the Flash, like when I was a kid, like I always used to think I ran so fast, blah blah blah, all this other crap. But like ultimately, the Flash was always like my thing. But yeah, you can never let the homie Batman go. Like I was a huge Batman fan. Love the
Batman is the
Batman
man.
comics. Love the Batman comics, man. I used to read through those like fucking nothing every single day. Now, what is your favorite DC hero? So we can branch off into a little bit of a more of a conversation. I want to get a baseline, even though we all know who it is already.
My favorite is 100% the Flash. But my favorite version of him is probably the Barry Allen version from the TV show specifically.
I was about to say the Barry Allen version. How fucking specific is that? Wow, that's only every single Flash ever.
No, remember though, there's
I know, different timelines, different
different
things.
people take up the mantle though of the Flash.
Well, yeah, that too.
Like Wally West. In the comics, he becomes the Flash.
Kid Flash.
But
Bitch. I'm just kidding.
I would say the Flash, and I would probably say second because I love all those movies and everything. Batman, especially the comics too. When Flash and
The
Batman
comics were
work together.
great. Dude, you know what comics I really fucking loved? And this might take you back or it might not. It all depends. The
What?
detective like Batman comics.
Oh, those were good.
Those were good comics. Like that was good reading. Like that was the upper echelon of comic book at the time. And even now, like everyone thinks like Deadpool kills the Marvel universe is some of the coolest shit they've ever read in their life. Which yeah, I can't lie, it is a very good comic, but like you guys really gotta get into frickin' like Detective Batman, man. That was a good comic book series.
I like the
That was good.
Flashpoint one too.
Flashpoint is good. Yeah, I can't admit Flashpoint is good, but I feel like Detective Batman is so unbelievably and just grossly underrated. Like it's like actually disrespectful how fucking underrated some of those comics are. I don't know how you see it from your perspective, but from how I see it, he's those comics are so underrated. Oh my god, it makes me mad.
There's a lot of comics that are, but speaking on that one, isn't the new TV show I think it's Batman Cape Crusader. Isn't it a new show based on those ones, detective ones?
I'm not 100% sure, honestly.
I
I'd
know I
have to look
haven't watched it
into
yet,
that more. I haven't watched it either, but I feel like it's gonna be a good show.
but I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure it's based on like old school detective style.
yeah.
From what I thought, I might be wrong.
I'm not 100% certain on that just yet, honestly. But one thing I can tell you that I would fucking love to see, like, more of, now that we're on the topic of just Batman for a few moments, is his comic, not his comics. The movies with Robert Patterson were like the movie with Robert Patterson was so good. I would love to see them do another one of those.
They're working on that one right now. I'm pretty sure it's for next year, 2025.
Like, I'm sorry, Robert Patterson played really good in like, Twilight and stuff. Yeah, I watched the Twilight series. Y'all can get fucked. Let me just throw that out there and make a baseline for it. My mom loved it, so sat down and watched it. I don't care. Um, but yeah, dude, I would say he played that detective Batman role so friggin' well, and I feel like that movie is also grossly underrated because it's not your traditional Batman. What is, and that's what all the people want to see is like traditional Batman, just kicking ass and beating the hell out of everyone that he's not everyone that he saw, but all the bad guys, this, that, and the other thing. But I feel like that detective style, it just creates like this form of suspense that you wouldn't feel if you were just like, if he was just beating the shit out of some like thieves, like.
Yep. I would say I like the detective style base that they've taken, especially with Robert Pattinson Batman, because of the movies we've also gotten in the past, where we have seen kind of like both sides play out the billionaire that Bruce Wayne is, and then Batman himself. But usually in all that, it's always Batman in action scenes. You don't actually see him do his detective stuff as much, I feel like. And you really don't see like that side of the character from those movies. I feel like in this movies, and especially in the new movies coming out, you're gonna see more and more of that
Which
detective
is
side.
good shit.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping that, and I forget what the next one might be, but I'm hoping that they come out with a Mr. Freeze one. I really want to
Mr.
see
Freeze.
Batman against Mr. Freeze again.
Mr. Freeze's story makes me fucking sad.
Or Dr. Freeze? Mr. Freeze?
I thought it was Mr. Freeze. I could be very wrong though, and we could have just pissed a lot of people off. Um, but
Mr. Freeze it is.
yeah, so see, I
That's how.
fucking knew Mr. Freeze. All right, we're not stupid. We're fine. We know what we're talking about.
But I would like to see that for like if they were to do or continue doing the story of Batman with Robert Pattinson on the side of whatever James Gunn is working on. I would like to see him do like some of the more of the other characters that we haven't seen in a while. I know Mr.
Oh
Freeze would be
yes.
a cool one. That would be like an awesome one.
You want to know what does suck though?
What?
And I know we've had this conversation before, but Henry Cavill not as Superman? I just don't know.
I I am bummed out about it. I really would have liked to see him be in the role again, but I can understand what James Gunn's take is on this and what he's trying to set up for a universe. Because I know he's changing pretty much all the actors. I don't think any of them stayed. But
Yeah,
I'm excited about David. What is it? David Cornsweet.
I actually don't even know, which is bad of me because I can't be over here trying to be like, no, don't get rid of Henry Cavill and not know
I'm pretty
who the
sure it's
next
that
actor in line is.
new. Well, on top of it, he looks really good for the role. He looks like he prepped for the role and everything. And it is David Cornsweet. He looks like he prepped for the role and everything. I guess it just really comes down to how it comes out in the movies, or as a movie itself, and how the story is. I'm really
Yeah,
interested in the story to see
I
where he
I
like takes the DC.
I hope that only good things happen with everything that we have going on right now. I mean, I've loved to see like the progress with a lot of the stuff that's been going on through DC. And I'm just hoping that DC does like a lot of great things because I mean, how many movies do they have coming out just like next year in terms of like just like hero movies and stuff that they know everyone wants to see? They got that one with Robert Patterson and what else?
Superman.
I know that yep, a new Superman, which that's going to be a true testament to how good James Gunn did picking the actors.
And
Like
he's also the director of that too. So he's the one he's also written the story. So he's worked on that film.
Yeah,
that movie the whole time. He's been on set and everything.
I'm hoping that, like, this again is the true testament to how he did with picking these actors. And I hope that honestly he picked good. Like.
Oh, I'm excited to see. I like I've already told you, I like Nathan Fillion. He's playing Green Lantern, and I think he's like the
Yeah.
perfect actor for it because he plays in a show that I like. I believe it's called Rookies or The Rookies. It's like a cop show.
Oh, I know what show you're talking about. Yep.
Yep, he plays in that show. I'm really happy like he got the role too. He's playing Guy Gardner. I believe it is. That's the Green Lantern he's playing, which is, if I'm not mistaken, like an older version of Green Lantern.
You know what I always thought was like a fucking mistake?
What?
Why would you cast? I wouldn't really say it's a mistake. All right, so that sounds like a little rude. But why would you cast Ryan Reynolds as fucking the Green Lantern?
That was just a bad movie.
I love Ryan Reynolds, but he was built for Deadpool. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Him and Deadpool were made for each other.
Yes, 100%. I agree with you on that. You never know. You could see like you know how Chris Pratt is in Marvel obviously right now. You could
Yeah.
see him come over to DC and play a role because of um what's his name? The director. James Gunn. There we go.
Huh.
James Gunn.
I thought you were talking about like a Marvel director real quick. I was like,
No,
what?
I gotta think about it because he did Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh yeah.
and they had a really good time working together and everything. So I wonder if he would potentially hire Chris Pratt for a role in DC, which could be interesting too.
It would be wild to see fucking Tom Holland in a movie, like in a DC movie.
That would be interesting.
What role do you think he'd like? Like hero or villain do you think he'd be able to play?
I don't know about villain.
Well, I don't think villain like is even on the
uh,
table, but I might as well throw it out there.
hmm. I don't know. This might be a wild one to throw out, but maybe like a Kid Flash, or if you wanted to give him a big role like Kid Flash, or maybe like one of Bruce Wayne's sons, or part
Oh,
of the
like
Bat
fucking
family.
yeah, like give him Nightwing or actual fucking just Robin in general.
He could be
Tim and what's
Tim
fucking other
Drake,
fucker? Tim
Dick
Drake and
Grayson,
Dick Grayson. That's the motherfucker I was trying to think of. Ugh.
but you
You
could
wanna
do
know?
that.
You wanna know what would be badass though?
What?
Oh, dude, a Red Hood movie. I've always thought like Red Hood has always been like one of my favorite villains, just because of how like
I love his
badass he
story.
is. His story is fucking awesome. His helmet is cool. He's just badass.
You know the Gotham Knights video game that came out?
Yes.
I played him throughout that whole story. He's one of my favorite characters. His character is awesome. I remember watching reading a lot of the comics and then like watching a lot of different YouTubers on the comics because they do like the reads on them
Mhm.
throughout like a whole series so you can get all caught up in one. And then I remember watching like a bunch of the animated movies because there's a lot of or a couple where he's in it and he's prominent in like the movie itself.
I just think that he would make such a great movie. Like just that character itself would just make such a good movie. Oh, I would love to see that. And hopefully they come through with something like that, you know? I mean, there's a lot of changes going on with the DC universe and stuff, and people could be happy, some people can be sad. And then there are the other people that are like just like me and just don't really care and just want really good fucking movies. And as long as James Gunn delivers, I'm fucking here for it.
Yep. I want really good movies with good storytelling. That's all I really care about. Obviously, follow a storyline
Yeah,
somewhat.
don't be a bad Call of Duty campaign.
Make it all
Because
like
we've all
connect.
Yeah, like the Marvel's always been pretty good at making shit make sense and connect. And I would like to see like more little like Easter egg things, but at the same time, it's much harder to do it in like like movies like what we like to watch, like the like kick-ass superhero movies, and because like Disney does a lot of that shit where they hide elements into like elements from other movies into their new movies. So then you're like, oh, like you make your own assumptions and connections based off that. Disney does a lot of what, like a lot of elements from other movies, and they add those elements into their other movie, like newer movies. Like, oh, a toy from Toy Story will be in like a Monsters Inc. movie or some shit like that. So then you basically like make your own connections and forge your own like stories that way. So then like the movies never truly like I guess die, if you will.
Okay.
I think that would be pretty cool, but it's really fucking hard to do that sometimes, you know? Because some of these heroes and villains and stuff come from different timelines. And I mean, trying to add elements like that might be really friggin' hard because you can be taking one thing and be trying to create it into something, but then you're forgetting, oh, this guy's actually from the future and the story takes place in 1979. This makes zero sense and has no fucking correlation to what we're doing.
Well, the cool thing is that I like the direction that James Gunn is doing is he's connecting everything together, but it doesn't all have to be like a live action movie. So like some of the projects are TV shows, so animated TV shows. So the characters will be in that first, then they'll come to live action. So that's how you can bring in like a lot of like the depending on what it is, like some of the old time stuff or like some of the older characters, you could do like their own show or
Their own
movie
little cameos, yeah.
and then put them into like if there's a major event in the movie like a multiverse event or an Earth's in danger event, depending on how they take it, whether everyone's on the same Earth or they hop into a multiverse.
Yeah, because if there's anything that Flash has shown us, it's that there are multiple Earths in the DC universe.
Yes. One of the movies I would have liked them to do I know we just had the Flash movie, but like have you ever
No,
seen the animated Flashpoint movie?
no, I actually haven't. That'd be a good movie for me to watch, though.
That's a good one because it shows like it shows Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father, and he's not like how Batman is at all. The moral
Oh, I've
code isn't
seen like
there.
shorts from this. He's like super like fucking aggressive, like disheveled
Yes,
and like just old.
that's what I would have liked to see. That
You
would
want
be
to
such
know?
a cool movie.
You want to know what, in my opinion, they should do?
What?
I think they should make another Flash movie because I'm sorry, that one with Ezra Miller was an absolute fucking flop.
I think I think James Gunn will. I think he's just gonna release what is it? Superman, Creature Commandos, Supergirl, Batman, Brave and Bold, and I think there's another one. Oh, Swamp Thing. And then I think that's like all the first act, but there might be other things added to it. I think he personally will do. Oh, Green Lantern's TV show too. That's the other one I was thinking of. I think he will do another Flash movie. I just wonder when. But I hope if he does, I hope he casts Grant Gustin as the Flash. I would like to see
He
him
should.
take the movie role.
Better than Ezra Miller.
Because I think he would fit right along with the other actors and actresses that have been cast so far. Or the rumored to be ones too, for roles. I think they will all fit perfectly together.
I agree. I think that Grant Gustin should have been the first pick, though.
I still never understood why he wasn't. Because the Flash TV show was done, they picked Grant Gustin, and then they immediately casted a new actor as the Flash for the movies. Even though they had a Flash, they could have used. But I mean, in a good way that I see it is, at least he wasn't part of that universe or part of that group of heroes, because all those actors and actresses I don't think have reprised their roles.
Yeah.
In DC at
But
all.
you can't get rid of Grant Gustin. Come on, man. He's literally the fucking GOAT.
I think he'd be
He's the
perfect at
GOAT
him
of
as
the
the Flash.
Flash.
But
I just feel like he should have been option number one.
Oh, I agree. But now we're starting all over again.
Which is really wild because I've never really like this is like a completely like different like approach on like the superhero world in general. Like you haven't seen Marvel start from fucking scratch on anything.
No.
So
But DC never got they never connected every story together, and they had so many separate movies. Like the Dark Knight trilogy was not a part of the DC universe. Or the DC universe of like the movies. Because then they had Ben
okay.
Affleck as Batman. So they casted a different Batman. Then they had a TV show, The Flash. They casted a different
There's been
Flash.
so many different fucking Batmans, bro.
Then they did Wonder Woman movies. I'm pretty sure those did pretty good.
I don't think they did bad.
No. And then they
You know what?
did Superman, which was good. Superman and
The
Batman was good.
Justice League movie was a good fucking movie, but I think they should make a Cyborg movie or a Teen Titans movie, bro.
They were
Oh
supposed to
my
make a
god, that'd be a
Cyborg.
W. A Teen Titans movie, not the animated show on Cartoon Network. No, I'm talking like real, like live action Teen Titans.
I
Like
would like to see that.
that would be fucking sick. Like even they fucking do the. Oh my god, I know you remember the old Teen Titans TV show from way back when.
Yes.
If they did something like that again, I literally do not care. If my wife needs me, I will be in the TV at the TV in the living room watching that show.
You know what they could do is, you know how Batman's already gonna have basically his sidekick, or the Bat family's already gonna be started.
Yeah.
They could have who is it? It's not Tim Drake. It's not Dick Grayson. Um, oh, what's his other son? Or his actual son?
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think Batman had that many freaking kids, man. Come on. Wake up.
Hold on. I'm looking up his name because I know. Damian Wayne. You could have Damian Wayne, and you could have him sent to the Teen Titans. And then Nightwing, um, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and Cyborg will all be introduced. Or you could take a different spin and do the other characters, Blue Beetle, Beast Boy. You could do Starfire as the leader, add Raven still, and then do Robin. So don't add Cyborg. Keep Cyborg with like Justice League. Or give him his own movie. And then he comes in as a part of the Justice League.
Ah, man, I just would love a Teen Titans movie. I guess more for nostalgia than I would like anything else. Because I do get what you're saying, but like Cyborg is also such a big part of that team.
That's the thing. I wonder how they would take it. That's the biggest thing. If
And if
Cyborg
there's
is already a part of the universe, and you're not going to have another Cyborg or a younger Cyborg, I feel like. You'll take Blue Beetle and add
well
him in.
in my opinion, professional opinion, I think if you're starting the whole like universe from scratch, you could definitely use like that to your advantage in terms of using Cyborg still in the Teen Titans. And then, but in the movie, just show that he goes into the Justice League, so then you can connect it from there. You know? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep, I do
I
get
know it
that.
seems like fucking tedious though to do that, but I don't know. There's just something about the OG Teen Titans that like will never cease to like leave my mind. Like that was the it show. Like if you didn't watch Teen Titans, you were not okay in the head. Like I'm sorry, I'll say it. I'll be the first one to say it. Like Teen Titans was the show, bro.
The original one, though,
That's
if
what
I
I'm
remember
saying. The
correctly,
original
it had
one.
a weird ending.
Yes, it did.
It did, right?
No one was happy with the ending,
Yeah.
but we got it anyways.
Okay. I was trying to
Like
think
The
about
Walking
it
Dead.
because then we got the new Teen Titans, which at the time wasn't
Teen
bad,
Titans Go. I mean,
but it's
it's
not the
it's
same.
still it's still not a bad show. Don't get me wrong. Like some people have fucking their own opinions, mixed reviews on it, or whatever. But it's not necessarily a bad show. Let's give it the credit that it deserves. I mean, ultimately, it is no OG Teen Titans, but you have to remember it's on Cartoon Network. It's meant for kids. Like this Teen Titans that we watched when we were kids is like it's not socially accepted for children to watch something like that anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah, because even though it wasn't, people would see it as more like adult, or not adultish, but like teenish,
A
more for
little
a
bit
mature
more than
audience.
teenish. Yeah, for a little bit more of a mature audience. I mean, on top of that,
But it
like
wasn't.
we all you remember that? You remember? I think it was like the movie when they were in Japan and Robin was like fighting some fucking guy and like had like this blue and pink paint all over his hands.
Yes.
And like he became obsessed with finding who this was and shit like that.
Yep.
And the whole team was like, "Yo, what?" Dude, that will forever sit in my brain. Like I'll never forget that.
All right. Hmm. I guess to end this off, let's do this. What was your favorite villain?
That's a good one. I would
Or
have
you
to
could say a
say,
couple.
hmm, hmm, hmm. Let me think. Let me think. What were yours so I can have a second to think?
Man, hmm. If I was to do it from comic book wise, I would say, or show wise too. I love the three speedsters in the Flash: Reverse Flash, Zoom, and Savitar. I like them, and I do like their comic book versions too. And then I like the Joker. Joker all
Yep.
around is one of my favorites. And then hmm, I wouldn't call them villains as much, but like Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn.
Those are villains. What the fuck?
It's just they have like a TV show too, and I know it's like They're villains, but it doesn't seem it is.
I mean, I guess I would have to say that you're wrong. They are villains. I don't care.
And in Darkseid, I think I like Darkseid the way he's done as a character.
I have to say some of my favorite villains would have to be Zoom. Ultimately, like you guys already know this from the Flash episode of the podcast, is Zoom, in my opinion, is the epitome of badass, like number one top tier villain that you can get. Like just down to the bone, nitty gritty, just kick ass. But I have to say, like, I also like Red Hood.
You you put Red Hood
Um,
as a villain?
I would. He does fight Batman. That does throw him in the realm of villain.
Yeah, but he does fight Batman though because he's under the assumption that like Batman and put him in that position or got him in that position, I believe. Or
Yeah,
left
but
forgot
all
about him
right,
or
all
left
right.
him.
Then how about this? How about this? I'll put Arkham Knight instead. Then, do you like that? Is that better?
No. I understand what
Uh,
you're saying. I do
no,
understand
but
what you're saying. I'm just
I do also like Arkham Knight. I think the Arkham Knight was a pretty cool villain, especially like playing that Batman game and stuff. But the Joker ultimately very very good villain. I mean, just so good because of the way that they like all the ways that they had him casted in the movies, just beautiful. The way that the Joker is in general is just so like it's just so good. Um, I'd have to say that I think that the Joker is a very, very high on my list, top tier villain. But I think at the end of the day, Zoom is still my number one.
Zoom's in number one.
Zoom is ultimately my number one just because of how he's played in the show and how he is in the comics and how unforgiving he is. Like, that to me is just like magnificent. And I don't know. I don't even know how else to put it. Like, that guy, God. I'm
He
more of a
is
Marvel
insane.
guy though, so if we ever have a Marvel podcast, I cannot say that I ever liked or had this podcast with you.
No, but I'll end it here. Thank you for listening to episode 6 of the podcast, The Ghostcast. I also have new Minecraft shorts and Valorant shorts out now. If you enjoyed the podcast, leave a like and subscribe.